Well, shalom everyone, Gabe here again, and I wanted to do a review now of our prior lesson last Shabbat. I do apologize, I feel like I've lost maybe 50% of you, felt a little bit overwhelmed after our last lesson. So I wanted to take this video and just review the vowel points once again, and the nikkud, and do some more practice with our reading. And so in order to do the reading practice, let's first go through and review the different vowel sounds that we have right here. Now, there are different vowels, but some of them actually make the same sound. Actually, can I go to a different vowel chart real quick? Apologize. It's not my favorite vowel chart. I like this one a little bit better, I believe, because it groups them better. So this is the letter beit. And so this is a vav cholam. Okay, so this is going to make a bow. Then this is going to make he's catching the ball in his belly, so it's making a boo. These are the three dots that are in a diagonal fashion, so they're going to make a boo as well. So these two vowels right here are actually going to make the same vowel sound. Okay. Then we have the little baby mouse. I said it makes a little squeaky E sound. Okay, so it's called a chirig. It's going to make a B. We have a shva. And a shava, as you remember in last lesson, I taught you that if there's a shva at the beginning of a word, then it's to be pronounced as an e. But if a shva is embedded inside of a word, then it actually falls silent. So it's a very confusing vowel. So we have bo, boo, boo, be, be. See, all these are the same sound essentially. And then we get into the ah sounds. Anything with like a line like this is like the line family. So ba. Okay, let's go back and say them together. Bo, boo, boo, be, be, ba, ba. Okay, now I want you to try, and I'll give you a pause for a moment and let you say the vowels, and then I will say them after you. Okay, so go ahead when you're ready. Okay, this is bo, boo, and this one, boo, this one, be, be, ba. All right. Now we're kind of done reviewing a little bit. Now we're going to go into Sepharia, and we're going to practice reading some of the text itself. No, I don't want that window. I want a different window. This one. We're going to actually start reading. Now, this is a website I mentioned before. It's sepharia.org, sepharia.org, okay? And this is a really handy website, especially if you like studying the Hebrew, if you like getting into some of the rabbinic commentary on the different Torah portions. What you want to do is, if you click on this menu over here, it'll take you to the Sepharia library menu. And you can see here you can browse some of the things that you've clicked on in the past, or maybe some suggested topics. So we have Tanakh, which is the Torah, the prophets, and the writings. We have Mishnah, Talmud, Midrash, Halakha, Kabbalah, liturgy, philosophy, and more. Okay? I mainly delve into these two and occasionally delve into the Midrash. So mainly Tanakh, Mishnah, Midrash, and occasionally Talmud as well, but mainly these three right here are the main three that I like to delve into. But I have enough to study just in the Tanakh itself, so learning this right here is taking up a lifetime. And the Mishnah and the Midrash kind of help shed light on some of the topics within the Tanakh, but predominantly I'm going to stay in the Tanakh. All right, and this is Tanakh. These are the divisions of the Tanakh. You have the Torah, and then all the books of the Torah. And then we have the prophets and all the books of the prophets. We have writings. And these are the Targums. The Targums are Aramaic translations of the Torah and the prophets and the writings. Okay, so these are very, very old translations. Actually, the very first translations ever of the Tanakh. Very interesting to read some of the Targums. All right, so let's go into this week's Torah portion. and we will look at reading some of these words. Actually, I want to go back. Let's go back to Genesis chapter 1 because I like the Hebrew of Genesis 1. It's very basic, it's very primitive, and it's a great couple chapters to learn how to read. As you keep going further in the Torah, the vocabulary becomes more broad, it becomes more complex to read, and it's still great. It's still great to read, but we want to keep it really primitive, really simple right now, and easy for you to learn. Okay, so we're going to jump right in here. We're going to read right to left, and there's little symbols in here that I want you to ignore, like this one right here. This is not a vowel sign. This is just like a cantillation mark or an accent mark. Same thing here. This is like an accent mark. This is just an accent or cantillation mark. So when you're singing the Torah in the synagogue, when you actually get up and you begin to read the Torah and you begin to cant it or sing it, there is a melody that goes along with all of these words that helps and aids in memorization. And these are basically like musical indications of how you are to sing them. We're going to ignore them right now because we're just trying to figure out how to actually read these words. Okay? Very first word of the Torah starts with the letter beit, okay? And then we have a resh, an aleph, which is typically silent unless given a vowel. We have a sheen, see the dot over there on the right-hand side, so it's going to make an SH sound, a yud, and a tav, okay? Let's try to sound this out using the vowels. Now what I do is I go like top to bottom, top to bottom, top to bottom, top to bottom, top. So I kind of weave my way through it, okay, each word as I sound it out. So here we go. You ready? This is going to make a b, and then we have a shva under it, which will be pronounced. So it goes be, resh as r, and then it has a e sound under it. So it goes be, re. This is silent because it's not been given a vowel. So it goes be, re, she. See, there's our baby mouse. So it's going to go e. So be, re, she. And then kind of like a Y sound. She, t. Bereshit. All right? Bereshit. Now this next word here, which just means, this is the root of this word right here. You see the, what just happened? You see the word, this is the word Rosh, basically, which means head or beginning, okay? Like Rosh Hashanah, Rosh Chodesh, that's that word right there, Rosh. That's the root of this word, okay? So we have in the beginning, essentially. All right, this is the next word. We have, again, it starts with a beit, and then it has an ah sound under it. So it's going to go ba-ah. Another resh with an ah sound under it. So it goes ba, ra, and then nothing. See, it's another silent aleph. So it goes bara. Okay, let's try to back up and let's say this again. We have be, re, shi, ya, t. Bereshit. Ba, ra, bara, which means create. Bereshit bara. And I think most of you know this word here that starts with this aleph. Now this aleph is different than the prior two alephs. What do you notice that's different about this? Is it has a vowel under it. And this vowel is a combination of two different vowels, but don't let that freak you out. It's just a bunch of dots. So right away your brain's going to say, hey, I want you to say the sound okay? So we have The aleph now has a sound, A lamed, it's going to make an L sound. So we have L. Then we have this cholam, which makes an O. I got it. So the lamed is now catching the ball above his head. He's saying elo. And then we have a hey with a baby mouse under it. So it's going to go Elohim, which is the name of God, or which is one of the titles for the name of God. Okay, let's back up and read it all. You ready? Be, re, silent, sheet, Bereshit. We gotta be careful saying that word. We don't want to curse on the video. Bereshit. 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 Bereshit, which means in the beginning. Then we have ba, a, ba, ra. Bara. Bara. Created. Created. Bereshit bara Elohim. Elohim, God. Bereshit bara Elohim. In the beginning, created God. What did he create? Well, we need a pointer word that's going to help us know what he created. And here is our pointer word. This word, Aleph, Tav. Aleph is typically silent unless given a vowel. And here, in this case, it's given the sound. So we're going to go and then we just cap it off with the tav. Et. See that? Et. This is our pointer word. And this is going to tell us to who or to what, or just going to help us know what's being created. Okay? So let's back up and let's review. Bereshit. Bereshit. Bara. Bereshit bara. Who created? Elohim. Elohim created. So in the beginning created Elohim, God. What did he create? Et. And here's our new word. Hey, with the ah sound under it. See, anything in the line family is going to make an ah. So it goes ha, ah, ha. And we have a sheen. Sha. So ha, sha. Mem goes ma, ha, sha, ma. Ha, sha, ma. Ya, baby mouse. E, final mem. M. Ha, sha, ma, yi, ma. Hashamayim. Okay? This is the word for heaven, or the heavens. Okay, so let's back up. Bereshit, in the beginning. Bereshit, in the beginning. Bara, created. Elohim, God. Et, the, or to. Hashamayim, the heavens. Okay. So this is a standalone concept or a sentence right here, okay? This could stand alone all by itself as a thought, okay, as a concept. In the beginning, God created the heavens. All right? But when we hit this next word here, if I were to cover up this vav here, it would be, see this word? It's the same word as this one right here. It's our et word, et, which is a pointer word, right? But the only difference being is there's a vav in front of it with a shva. And the vav is a connector word. It's our version of the word and, or it's Hebrew's version of the word and. Okay, it's a connector. It's a conjunction. So that means we're going to say this as and et, or ve'et. And he also, or two, he created what? Ha, hey with a ah sound, so it goes ha, and aleph with an ah sound, so it goes ha, re, ha, ar, re, and then we have a final sadi. It's a sadi with the bottom that fell out, so it's a final sadi. See how it hangs down below the rest of the letters just a little bit? So it goes ha, re, ts, like the pizza sound, right? Haaretz. And we say this word every time we say the hamotzi blessing. We say hamotzi lechem min haaretz. Hamotzi lechem min haaretz, which means the, ha is the earth or land. Haaretz, the land or the earth. Okay, let's back up. Bereshit in the beginning. Bara, created. Elohim, God. Etz, this is our pointer word. It's hard to translate. Hashamayim, the heavens. Va'etz, and haaretz, the earth. Okay, let's read a little bit faster. Bereshit, bara, Elohim, et hashamayim, hashamayim. Va'et haaretz. Va'et haaretz. Okay, now I want you to read through it, and I'm going to come behind you and read it after you, and let's see how you do, okay? Start with this word here. Next word. This word here. This one's the easy one. This one. The heavens. This is another easier one. And then this one. Good. And so I'm going to read it now. Bereshit bara Elohim et hashamayim ve'et haaretz. So in the beginning created God. He created the heavens and he created the earth. Okay? So how did you do? Now your cat or your dog listening to you read this out loud thinks you're crazy. Congratulations. Now, we're gonna go a little bit deeper here, and I'm gonna have you try to sound out this word. Okay? Now this word right here, like I said, this little diamond up here, I don't want you to pay attention to that diamond. But I just want you to start right here, and I want you to try to sound this one word out and then stop, because I'm gonna say this word here in a moment as well. So let's see how you do. Go ahead. Okay. If you're not done, just pause the video and keep thinking about it. But I'm going to sound this out. Are you ready? This is a vav. V. It's going to go ve. Ha. A. Re. Ts. Ve. Ha. A. Re. Ts. Ve. Ha. Aretz. Ve. Ha. Aretz. Now this word right here should be familiar to you because that's the same word that we used right over here. Haaretz, the earth, okay? The only difference being is that there's a vav in front of it. And remember I said that that vav is always a connecting vav. It's a conjunction. So it's trying to tell you and. We're continuing this process of creation, okay? So ve haaretz, and the earth. So we're about to describe what the earth was like as it was being created. So we're getting to the exciting part here, okay? Now I want you to try to sound this word out. So if you need to pause the video, go ahead and pause it. Okay, so you've sounded the word out. Let's see how you did. I have a hey with a ah sound. So this is going to say ha. Now this is interesting because I've got a yud with a shva. Now remember I said anytime you see a shva that's embedded inside a word like this, we're not going to pronounce it. So we're going to kind of skip over it. So it's going to go hi, hi. We just hit that yud and it makes a y sound. So hi, and then we have a tav with the ah. So it goes hi ta, hi ta, hi ta. Okay? And that's basically saying, we're about to get into some descriptions now. So it's saying the earth was like, and the earth was like what? Let's talk about what the earth was like. So pause the video and try to sound out this next word here. Okay, so you hit play, you try to sound it out. We have a tav here. He's trying to catch a cholim, and ignore this line above here. Just ignore that. So we have a to. Then we have a hey, and here is the vowel that the hey is given. It goes to hu. He's catching the ball in his belly, so he's saying ooh. So it goes tohu. And oftentimes translators will pronounce this as empty or void, right? So let's back up. Ve haaretz haita tohu, and the earth was empty. Okay, I hope you're doing well. I'm sure you're sounding these out pretty. So go ahead and pause the video and try to sound this next word out. So go ahead and pause it. Okay, now you sounded this word out. Let's see how you did. We have a vav with the ah sound under it. And this is a connector vav. This is a conjunction vav. So it's basically saying and. So it goes va. Now here is a bait that is missing its dagesh. It's missing a dot. So it's going to make a softer V. So it goes va, v, vav. And then this has a cholim above it. So ignore those two dots. I know it's really confusing. Just ignore those two dots right now. So it goes va, vo. He's catching the ball above his head. So he goes va, vo, va, vo. And then here we have the same exact ending as right here in the tohu. We have va, vo, hu, va, vohu. And so let's back up and read it again. Veha'aretz haita tohu. Va vohu, and the earth was empty and it was chaotic, or it was void. Okay, so we're getting like very dark, kind of like a very picture the waters churning and waves. Just like there's just emptiness and there's just no order to anything. Everything's chaotic. There's volcanoes erupting. Well, maybe not yet, but there's just just emptiness, and it's cold and it's dark. And here we have another conjunction. I want you guys to pause the video and try to sound this out as best you can. Okay, let's see how you did. We have a ve, and a chet with a cholam. So it's going ve, cho, shek, ve, choshek. How'd you do? All right, this word right here is and darkness. Darkness. Okay, so the earth is empty and it's chaotic and it's dark. There's no light. All right, this is the same kind of darkness that we saw come over the land of Egypt during the plagues, right? So vechoshek. So there was darkness. Where was there darkness? Was it everywhere? Was it a certain place? Let's find out. Let's go to this next word, and I want you guys to try to sound this out. So pause the video, and you can try to sound out both of these words. This is actually just a little hyphen to tell you to take a little breath, to take a pause, but these are two thoughts that need to come together. So try to sound these two words out right here. Go ahead. All right. So you've paused the video, you sounded it out to the best of your ability. Let's see how you did. All right, we have an ayin with a ah sound under it, and we go right into a lamed. So it's going to go al. And then we have a pe with a shva under it. So it's going to go pe ne, pane, al pane, or on top of the face, or over the face, al pane, above the face. This is talking about the face of something, or the top of something. And let's get into let's do a few more words. Let's finish up this verse, and then we'll call it quits on this one. Okay, so al paneh, and I want you to read this next. What was darkness over the face of? Okay, so go ahead and pause it, and I want you to sound out this word, but don't worry about the little wishbone right there. Just ignore that. Go ahead. Okay, you've paused it, you've sounded this out. Let's see how you did. This is a tav with a shva, so it's going to go te, ho, o, to. So it goes te, ho, final mem, ma, te, home, which is basically translated as I believe it's the place. Let's see how they. Okay, they actually translate it as over the surface of the deep. The deep. Okay, so the earth being unformed and void with darkness over the surface, or this is that al paneh, the surface, the face of the deep. Okay, the deep what's probably the deep ocean, right? The deep waters. Now here comes the creative force that's in play here. Okay, something needs to act, right? There needs to be some sort of catalyst for the creation, and here is where we begin that catalyst. Okay. So I want you to pause it and try to sound this word out, but don't worry about that little backwards L. That's not a vowel. Don't try to sound that out, okay? Just ignore it. All right, so go ahead and pause it and try to sound this word out. Okay, let's see how you did. We have a vav, which means and, ve, resh, ru, veru. And now this is different because you would look at this and you would say, we need to pronounce this as veru verucha, but really it's going to be pronounced veruach, veruach. And the ruach is the wind or the spirit or the breath of God, okay? This is the creative force that's at work here that we're going to see that's really, really being the catalyst for the creation, okay? So the ruach was over the face, the ruach, darkness was over the face of the deep, but suddenly there became a breath or a wind or the spirit of something. Okay, so I want you to sound this next word out. This word should look familiar to you. So go ahead and try to sound this word out if you want to pause it and then hit play when you think you've got it. Okay, this word is Elohim. Elohim. All right, that word should be familiar to you by now. Elohim, which means God. So veruach Elohim, the wind or the breath or the spirit of God. So this is the creation catalyst right here is the spirit of God. Okay, let's talk about this word. So go ahead and pause it and try your best to sound this word out. Okay, we have a mem with a shva, so it's going to go me, ra, che, fe, te. Merachafet. Merachafet. Which basically means it was hovering, or it was, literally it means it was fluttering, like a bird, mother bird flutters its wings over its nest to wake up the young. This is the language that's being used here, is the veruach. The ruach Elohim was fluttering its wings above the water to arouse it to action. Okay? Merachafet. It was hovering. All right? What was it hovering over? Go ahead and pause it, and these two words should be familiar to you as well because we read them back here. So go ahead and pause it and try to sound these out. All right, we have al pe ne, al pene, over the face or over the surface of something again. So the ruach of Elohim was hovering or fluttering over the face. The face of what? Let's go back and find out. I want you to pause it and sound out this last word of Genesis 1, verse 2. Okay, we have he with the ah sound. So it's going to go ha, ma, yim, hamayim, hamayim. This is the prefix which means the, ma-yim means water, or waters. So there we have it. This is Genesis 1:2. Let's go back and I'm going to read the whole thing to you kind of slowly, okay? See if you can follow along. Genesis 1, verses 1 through 2. Bereshit bara Elohim et ha-shamayim ve'et ha-aretz. Verse 2. Ve'ha'aretz haita tohu vavohu ve'choshech al panei tehom ve'ruach Elohim merachafet al panei hamayim. And in English, when God began to create heaven and earth, the earth being unformed and void, with darkness over the surface of the deep, a wind from God swept over the water, the Spirit of God. So the Spirit of God, there's a lesson in all this. You know, you can't study Hebrew without having some sort of application to all this, is the ruach, the breath, the Spirit of God is the catalyst for the creation of the new world, right? Because it's there, but it's dark, it's formless, it's void. Nothing can inhabit this earth. But the ruach of God is beginning to put things in order and beginning to make it usable and make it, as we'll see in our next lesson, tov, or functioning the way it was intended to be functioned. And the Ruach of Elohim actually does the same thing in each of us. It's the same thing it did as it hovered over the waters of the deep and the creation story. It does the same thing for each of us. It's creating us into a new creation. We were formless, we were dark, we were void, right? Chasing after things that are of the world. But the Ruach inhabits us and transforms us from the inside out into new creations. And people who are tov, people who are functioning the way we were intended to function. All right, that concludes this video review. I hope you did well. Make sure you watch this video as many times as you need to. And if you have any questions, feel free to email me. You can email me directly at gabrielrutledge@gmail.com, or you can just shoot me a text if you have my cell phone number. I'm not going to put my cell phone number on YouTube, but you feel free to email me. All right. Thanks, guys, for watching, and shalom.